not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And this is a topic that is long overdue from my channel. We're going to talk about the black females. Is the black woman more masculine than other women of other races? We're going to talk about the remarks about Michelle Obama being transgender, and is the black woman less desirable, and so forth. So let's get into it. Now, it's hard for me to approach this topic without mentioning YouTube's favorite son, Tommy Sotomayor, because he's one of the main arbiters when it comes to this whole realm about black women being more manly than other women, and so forth. And you know, and the thing is with him, I don't know, is he trying to help black people, or is he trying to be a shock jock like Howard Stern? But my synopsis of it, I'm like, he's that Tommy Sotomayor actually helping the black commonwealth is like Howard Stern, you know, trying to help out the Jews. You gotta accept who and what he is. Now, growing up through middle school, junior high, you know what I'm saying, from a kid to my adulthood, I am not oblivious to the negative connotations associated with black women. You know, black women being snappy, you know what I'm saying, rolling their eyes, rolling their necks and whatever, being demanding, even sort of being mean, you know, like I'm going to cuss you out, so forth. But it never came across our minds, you know what I'm saying, as observing black women, that she was more masculine, has more testosterone, or even less attractive than women of, you know, other races. And just never, we never pondered it. I'm like, if that was true, it would have been something we would have noticed. You know, I would have noticed that long before, you know what I'm saying, the social media. I was like, yeah, but you know, we would just sit back and drinking 40 saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, as a kid, you know, say nice, you know, because all the rappers promoted say nice. I'm like, you know what, man? You know, black women, yeah, they do look more, they look like that's back when I used the N-word, they do look like niggas, you know what I mean, and so forth. No, I think some sort of quasi psychologist or whatever, he wrote some sort of article and put it on the internet, and since it's an article on the internet, then oh, it has to be true about black women being less desirable, black women having more testosterone, and blase blase, and of course a lot of black men who has angst against the black women because we got this real strong black gender war going on. They are going to cling on to this hodgepodge and so forth, and use that against the, you know what I'm saying, use it as cannon fodder against black women. I'm like, you can find all sorts of articles written by pseudo scholars and so forth that black people are, you know, less intelligent than whites and other races, and so forth. So, yeah, well, don't trust everything that you read on the internet. I almost lost my place here. Now I'm going to go into Michelle Obama and Tommy Sotomayor's remarks. And I understand that he's echoing the same sentiments of the late Joan Rivers. You know what I'm saying? You know, before she died, she was like the walking mummy. But you know, and that's the thing. I'm like, you know, I don't understand how a dark-skinned woman can follow Tommy. But you know, I think he also said this before. The thing is, Michelle Obama looks like Michelle Obama. You know what I'm saying? Her build and whatever. You can't say that she's the, you know what I mean? Like she's the status quo of black women. I'm like, she's not a bad looking female at all. I admit, you know, her mouth looks weird, but I know that runs in the family. You know, because I seen an interview with her brother, and her brother has that same mouth. But I know that Tommy said, you know, before that black men makes good transgenders and transsexuals, and why would this guy would constantly ponder on this thought is beyond me. Because when a black man, you know, when he dresses up and acts like a female, that they're indistinguishable from one another. I'm like, that is inconclusive. Because I've seen, you know, I got trannies in my city, you know, cross dressers and so forth. You know, that whole gay world, and I can pretty much spot them from a mile away. You know what I'm saying? Driving down the street, going 45 miles an hour. Looking over to my right, seeing someone walk down the street, and I can almost instantly tell that that's a transgender. I don't even have to look at their face. I can look at their build. Let's take the movie To Wong Foo. Let me show you this picture here. Now see, now look. Wesley Snipes' character looks less like a female than Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, some people can say, "Oh, Wesley Snipes, that's a bad example because, you know, that's a very dark and masculine looking. That's a very dark and masculine black man." Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's my point, because people say that well, black women are so masculine looking and sort of ugly and so forth and look like men, but you know what I'm saying. That is. I can sit up there and show you pictures for 2 hours of black females. I know, black women, and if I can doctor the way that they look through photo editing, and I can change their skin white, and they won't look much different, like from a white female. It ain't like I'm using. They say, "Oh, this female, she looks different than," you know. You see what I mean? It's like as I said before, all women of whatever race, ethnic group, whatever, look like their male counterparts. You know, if you really paid attention and so forth. I'm like, there's plenty of white women out there you see with that kind of like that, a strong cricket nose, like a white man, like Meryl Streep or whatever. But when it comes to the tranny game, I'm like, nobody got it locked down like Latinos. And I hate to offend, but you know what I'm saying? Just that picture I showed you, I'm like, John Leguizamo looks more like a woman. I'm like, he looks just like a woman. When I saw that movie, To Wong Foo, you know what I'm saying? Don't ask me why I'm sitting there and watching it. But, you know what I'm saying? John's character, I'm like, he was the most convincing. That's why he fooled that white boy, even though the movie was just stupid. I think that even Hucklebucks that live in the country would have figured out that these were men. But you know, the producers or the writers knew that John's character can pass more so like a female than the other two people. And people may say, well, that's just John, you know what I'm saying? He's no. Latino are known for making more convincing transsexuals. And the thing is with Tommy Sotomayor, what he left out is the black female is not built like a black man. Matter of fact, the black female looks less like her male counterpart when it comes to the body structure than females of any sorts of genotypes or whatever. This is fact. This is true. I can understand that there's trannies out there popping pills and doing what they can and getting surgery to get big asses. I understand that. But you know what I'm saying? But let's just look at a cross-dresser, because supposedly they're different or whatever. But when you look at a black cross-dresser, I'm like, no. I'm like, he looks just like a man. The black man's build is completely different than the black female's build. You know what I'm saying? Black females are known, even going to Africa, known to being short, you know what I'm saying, are average size for a woman and having hips and dips and curves. The black man is known for being taller than most men, broad shoulders, and more masculine. Their build type is completely different than other females. I'm like, it's more so different than the build of a white woman and a white man. We know that there's plenty of white women, a lot of white women, a good majority of them got flat asses and high hips. Even square shoulders. That's why when you see a white woman with a fat ass, you know, now I admit they are more common than what people say that they are, but people get shot, they look at them like, damn, she got a big ass for a white girl. You know, I'm like, come on now, don't play with me. And then you go into the Mexicans. I'm not talking about Latinos like Dominican, I'm not talking about the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans, but specifically Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? Because their genotype has interbreeded less, lack of a better term, with their conquerors. Mexican women, especially the ones that are down in Mexico, got that square built. They're built very similar to men. So if I see a Mexican tranny, Mexican cross-dresser, they may be more convincing, even though they're square built. Well, that's how, you know what I'm saying, their men are built with those kind of like this big frame and the little legs and so forth. I'm like, come on, man. But as far as the female that race, I don't know, lack of a better term, that looks like a man, that's kind of how, you know what I'm saying, got that big masculinity going on, then we'll have to give it, I don't want to offend nobody, then we're going to have to give it to the Samoans. I'm like, no, come on, Tommy, how can you leave the Samoans out this? But of course you are. Either he is just stupid, or he's just misconstruing information just to fit his agenda, you know, and so forth, just to fit his narrative. But the Samoan women, because, you know, people know I bounced a lot when I was a kid. I'm like, they are big and square built. You know what I'm saying? I would be even scared to fight a Samoan woman. I'm like, she look like she can pick a dude up literally and power drive him to the canvas. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? The Samoan women and the Samoan men, I'm like, man, they dang near look interchangeable. Now, Samoan men, they got that height, that build, and, you know what I'm saying, those distinguishing eyebrows that women like. You know what I'm saying? Samoan men are real good at getting women, you know, and so forth, because they got what women, you know what I'm saying, but that's the thing. But the women look very closely to their men. They're built like their men. Samoan women are even sitting at the same height as their male counterpart. You can't say this with black women. You know what I mean? The typical black women sits in a normal house, you know, 5'4", 5'3", you know, and black men is just, you know, typical one is sitting over 6 foot, man. Don't play with me. Yes, there are some big, tall black women out there. There's black women that are just, you know, tall and maybe stocky built, but I'm talking about status quo. And let's go into dark-skinned black women versus light-skinned black women. As I said before, it's about the facial structure. It's about a pretty smile, pretty teeth, nose. You know what I'm saying? If I use Photoshop, I can turn any dark-skinned woman into a light-skinned woman. You know what I'm saying? For they look the same. You know what I'm saying? Face-wise. And then people want to try to say that testosterone is linked with melanin. I'm like, come on, man, that is that is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm like, there are more pretty dark-skinned women than light-skinned women, just for the simple fact there's just more dark-skinned women. You know, and then when you go into the paper bag test, there's different variations of what we call quote-unquote dark skin. Like Tommy would say that, oh, you're just dark skin. I'm like, Tommy put his own skin complexion in the same boat with that porn star Megan Vaughn. I wouldn't consider Megan Vaughn dark skinned. There's people what I would consider like a chocolate milk complexion. Like if you look at a glass of chocolate milk and compare it to a candy bar or a special dark chocolate candy bar, that's two different variations of brown. You know, and then there's darks, there's that what I consider that golden crisp color, the color of golden crisp cereal. So I'm like, there's different, but me, I admit, I'm a pig. I'm a pig, so I'm looking at a female's body game. You know, if particularly a black female has a weak ass or a square ass or no ass, I'm just going to look at it as an abnormality, because there are so many black females with nice athletic ass, voluptuous ass. The typical black female have ass. you know, and of course, someone like Tommy's gonna find some black women who don't have an ass and want to get surgery or whatever, and he says, "Oh, I thought black women had ass." That's why. See, I can talk about Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Tommy never bailed out one of my friends out of jail. Ooh, I'm sorry. I never made no peace treaty with Tommy. This doesn't mean I have any beef or hatred or angst against Tommy. This don't mean I'm going to troll him. I'm just going to always disagree with his I think he's just I think he's just completely dishonest. He's disingenuous. You know, that's the word I want to look for, and he knows it. But yeah, you know what I mean. It's when it comes to females' look, a lot of it has to do with their smile and their body. If a female got a banging body and a pretty smile, then yeah. But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching, and sally forth.